everyone, welcome back to my channel. We're going to be talking all about the new makeup that was recently launched from Kim Kardashian in her skin line. Now, if you guys have been with me for a while, you will know that I really enjoyed KKW Beauty. These are just a few of the palettes that I have. I have a few of the smaller like 6-pan palettes. I also have these two little contouring kits for the eyes. I had the concealer, the powder, loved the lip liners. So I have been a fan of KKW Beauty. It was a brand that I enjoyed. Now, that's not to say that I'm a huge Kim Kardashian fan, because that's not the case. I always keep it about the makeup, right? You guys know that. I like to keep it about the makeup. So when I saw that she was launching a new eyeshadow palette, new lip liners, and lipsticks, I had to grab a few of the lipsticks and a lip liner and the palette and just kind of get a feel for the new brand. So that is what we are doing in today's video. This is the palette right here. This is called the Classic Matte Eyeshadow Palette. It retails for $50 and you get 12 matte shades. The packaging is the exact same packaging as the KKW Beauty palettes. Now you can tell mine are dirty because they're loved, but the classic palette was my absolute favorite. This is my second one. So PS, I went through this shade and this shade and I was like getting down to the nitty gritty. So I went ahead and bought another palette. I would say maybe like 6 months or so before they closed down that brand. The packaging is the same, but the palettes are a little bit more money. I will get into all of my thoughts about the products in my final thoughts. So let's talk about the new lip liners. These retail for $22 and they come in 15 shades. I grabbed shade 9. So I will be kind of showing you guys what shade 9 looks like on my lips and stuff. And then she also launched the new soft matte lip colors. They retail for $32 each and they come in 10 shades. And I have shade 3 and shade 7, which I guess is like nude 3, nude 7. So that's what I'm going to be using and trying on and playing with in today's video. Let's go ahead and jump into the application of these products, and then we will go ahead and jump into my final thoughts. So I will see you guys then. I went ahead and ordered. I got the palette, 2 of the lippies, and 1 of the lip liners. So we're actually going to put the lip liner and the lippy on right now just because my lips are dying for something to be put on. So some of my lip liners from the old brand are very well loved and old, okay? Just FYI. But this is what it looks like compared to the new. And I do like how the old one didn't have like the color kind of indicator on the back, which I really like that they decided to do that on the new brand. So I got the shade number Nude 9. I'm gonna go ahead and put this on. So for me personally, they feel very similar to the lip liners from KKW Beauty. So if you really liked the lip liners from KKW Beauty, I think you'll really like this formula because to me, it feels the same. What I like about her lip liners is they're creamy enough to put on and you can kind of blend them out, but they also are dry enough to kind of stay down and not move around. Some lip liners can be too creamy, and some lip liners can just be too dry and you have to work really fast, or you have to warm them up on the back of your hand or whatever. The 2 shades that I got, gosh, I can't read that writing. Okay, so I got nude number 7 and nude number 3. That is nude 3, and these are very pigmented. And then this is number 7. Super pretty, you guys. Like, I like that they're a matte formula. I do. And they're really pigmented. So this is nude number 9 lip liner. This is number 3 and this is number 7. And they kind of have a real nice creamy texture to them, but they're also kind of that matte. So I'm going to go ahead and put on shade 3. That's shade 3 with number 9 lip liner. And these are really easy to put on. So I'm going to take this off, and then I'm going to put on shade 9 and shade 7. All right, now let's put on, did I put on shade 7 first? Oh my gosh, you guys, this writing is ridiculous. I cannot read that writing. Hold on. I still can't read it with my reading glasses on. So I have absolutely no idea. No, okay, I was wrong. So what I was wearing last time was number 7 and the lip liner. I'm so dumb, you guys. My bad. The number's not on the back of these, by the way. Not that I can read. It's only on the box, on the top of the box. That's it. This is shade 3 with the lip liner shade 9. Holy smokes, you guys. But I truly do not see, I mean, I cannot see where it says number 3, number 5, it just says nude. Oh, it does say nude number 7. It's so small though. Like, okay, I'm not trying to be mean. I know Kim is in her 40s now. Surely they realize that people cannot read that. I think even people that don't need glasses yet are going to have a hard time reading that. It is so freaking small. But technically it is written on there, so just FYI. So the last one I was wearing was shade 9 and 7. This is shade 9 and 3. I apologize for that, you guys. Let's move on to the palette. Palette is $50, and I've heard a lot of people say, is it worth $50? No. And here's the thing. I would agree, unless the formula is just really, really good. So Natasha Denona's midi size palettes are $69, and they have 15 shades. This is $50 for 12. And these are solid mattes. So technically, like, comparable to Natasha Denona, are they worth that price point? Probably not. Like, I would say this is like 35 to 40 tops. You're gonna pay also for the name. So there's that. Like, this is a Kim Kardashian brand. She is one of the biggest influencers in the world. So you're paying for the name on top of, hopefully, quality. I haven't watched any reviews on this, but I have heard a few people say that the quality is really good. So let's try it out. I'm gonna be using these new brushes that I got from Sonia G. These are called the Keyaki Kakishibu. I don't know how you pronounce that, you guys. I have no idea. That is so awful. They're available now on the Beautylish website. I'm gonna go into this shade first. I'm gonna place this on the lid just to kind of brighten up that lid space. Okay, so far, these are really creamy shadows. Like, really creamy. And you can already see how much that brightened up my lid just by placing that shade on the top. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that on this side. And I'm gonna first go into this shade. I might need to wash these brushes from Sonia G because I haven't washed them yet. I just got home a couple of days ago. And, oh, I love that color for contouring. Okay, I'm gonna need to wash these brushes. With any natural haired brushes, you wanna wash them first because they kind of have that flare out to them. They kind of just give them that fluff that they need. Oh, but I absolutely love that gray color. It's so perfect for that, like, contoured look. And it's quite pigmented, but it's not too pigmented where you can lose control of it. I'm also going to bring that on the lower lash line. So I'm going to use this smaller one from Sonia G. Now I'm going to grab this shade right here. And I'm going to just like sweep that right over top of that gray just to kind of give it some color. I'm going to take this little small smudge brush. This is from BK Beauty and the Niiki Rose collection. I have been loving this brush for under eye. Oh my gosh, I'm obsessed. And I'm just going to take a little bit of that, put it right over top of those color, or that gray color. I'm going to start with this color right here, and I'm going to bring it like right, oh, my camera. It always wants to focus on everything but my eye. Okay, then I'm going to go in with, I'm going to like mix this color and this color. Like kind of mix these back and forth. I'm gonna go directly in with that dark color and just kind of like blend that into that color. These colors and the actual formula are really, really easy to use. Like they really blend good. Okay, now I'm taking a fluffy brush and I dipped into this color. In real life, it has a little bit of a dusty rose color, and I just wanted to pop it over top of those colors just to kind of pull it together. I'm gonna take a small smudge brush. This is the BK Beauty 204. And I'm gonna go into this color right here. And I'm gonna lightly kind of like smudge that into that outer corner. Also on the top, just to give it some depth right there. Then I'm gonna wipe the brush off and then I'm gonna go into this shade right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and go off camera, finish the other eye, and then put some mascara on, and I will be right back. Let's go ahead and jump into my final thoughts about these products. I'm gonna first start with the palette. I actually really like the palette, and I kind of figured that I would. Do I feel like it's pricey? Yes. Like I said that during the tutorial, I think this is a little overpriced for what you're getting. It's $50. And if you're comparing it to a brand like Natasha Denona, which is one of my favorite more high-end brands, as far as the eyeshadow goes, I feel like Natasha's really done a good job at nailing that formula. Remember those days where she was kind of like experimenting with different formulas? Remember those days? And there was a lot of inconsistencies, but it feels like the last 4 or 5 palettes that Natasha Denona has put out, I have absolutely loved the formula. And yes, her palettes are $69 for 15 shades, but you're getting some of the best qualities in the mattes, best qualities in shimmers, toppers, the whole 9 yards, right? So I personally love Natasha Denona's midi size palettes. They're just some of my favorite palettes to buy. This palette in particular, it is a little overpriced for what it is. It is. I'm just going to say it. It is. With that said, if you were like me and you really liked the KKW Beauty brand as far as like the eyeshadow quality goes, I kind of feel like they're very similar. Remember, I have a lot of experience with KKW Beauty. I have a lot of these palettes. And I consistently use these two on a regular basis. So I know how the formula applies, how it blends, and the pigmentation and all of that. And I feel like if you liked the KKW Beauty eyeshadow palettes, you'll really enjoy these palettes. Now, is this something that you absolutely need? Not necessarily. I like the color story and I really love this shade. Oh my gosh, I'm obsessed with that gray shade. I'm just gonna say it's probably one of the best gray tones because it's not too light and it's not too dark, but it also gives you that beautiful contour. These are easy mattes to play with. So they blend really easily. They apply beautifully. It's not too much pigment where you're overwhelmed and you have to work hard to blend it out, but it's not super dry and patchy where you're not getting enough pigment and you feel like you have to keep reapplying. So overall, I think the quality is there. And these are creamy mattes. For being the dry, I mean, look at that swatch. I mean, these swatch like a dream. I mean, I could not believe how well they swatch. Like each one of these shades just, I mean, they're so pigmented that you don't have to reapply. You don't have to like dip your finger down in there again to get a decent swatch. It's like a one swatch type of palette. So the pigmentation's there. If you already have a lot of these matte shades, do you necessarily need this? No. If you really like the KKW Beauty line, will you like the formula? I think you will. I would say if you have a lot of these mattes in your collection already, like even if you have the Makeup by Mario one, the solid matte palette from him, or the new one from Patrick Ta, which I don't have that one. I just haven't bought it yet. And I don't know that I'm going to, but if you have those palettes, I would probably skip this and I would wait until she launches something with some shimmers. You know, this was probably smart for her to launch this as kind of the first staple of the brand, like having an all matte palette to kind of pair with other palettes that she decides to come out with. So, you know, I get the reason why she did it, but I don't know that this is something that you really need to rush out and grab, especially if you have some other palettes that have those matte tones. Even Natasha Denona's, right? Like these tones are in a lot of the Natasha Denona palettes that we already have. So again, it's not necessarily something that you absolutely need, but if you are intrigued or interested, I don't think you'll be disappointed because it is a nice formula. Let's talk about the lip liners. I actually really like the lip liners and I'm really happy that she brought them back because for me, it's still to this day one of my favorite lip liners, not only for the formula, but the tones. The tones are really, really good. I've always had a great experience with her lip liners and especially that nude line. So I definitely plan to get a few more shades in the lip liners and just kind of go from there. Let's talk about the soft matte lip colors. These are nice, but I think these are overpriced. Being $32, I think they're a little overpriced. I like the packaging. The packaging is really nice. It's very sleek with those pretty earth tones. The price is a little steep for these, but the formula is good. Like I haven't reapplied this and I've been filming for 2 or 3 hours at this point, and I have not reapplied or, you know, fixed it or anything like that. This is a decent long wearing formula because it is that matte, but it doesn't feel drying. So it has a creaminess to it, but it also is drying. It also dries and kind of sets down and very, very comfortable to wear. I'm kind of looking to see like how it reapplies over itself. If it's one of those formulas that kind of gets thick. Sometimes when you layer those matte lip products over top of themselves, they can start getting a little bit kind of like settling into the fine lines and kind of get a little bit of that thick layer. You probably know what I'm talking about, but this isn't like that. This is a nice cream matte formula. One thing that I do want to mention about this lippy is that I noticed that it transfers a tiny bit, but not a lot. So you can kind of see it a little bit, but it doesn't transfer that bad, which is a good thing, right? I mean, I've been drinking out of my water and it's kind of there on my straw, but not terrible. So yeah, at this point, I'm excited to see what else she's gonna launch because so far I'm really happy with the products that I bought. So that's it for the video. I do hope it was helpful. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me in today's video. I hope you guys all have a wonderful day and I will see you guys all in my next video. Love you. Bye.